Thanks for tuning into the Adam Carolla Show. You can watch the full show on YouTube. Just search Adam Carolla Show and hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can also get the podcast wherever you like to listen. And for extra content, ad-free episodes, and more, you can head over to our Substack and sign up today.
Pluto TV has thousands of free movies and TV shows.
We're coming at you with everything we got.
This is the mindset.
Free.
This is the mantra.
Free.
This is the mindset.
With movies like Pineapple Express, the entire Star Trek film franchise, and Gladiator, and TV shows like Survivor, SpongeBob SquarePants, The Fairly Odd Parents, and Ghosts, Pluto TV is always free. Huzzah! Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on the church. We're going to mandate you. Get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for spreading the word. Tish Hyman is here. Tish, rose to prominence maybe 5 months ago when a kerfuffle broke out at a Gold's Gym, and then came out and became sort of a voice for sanity, I think as it applies to gender at least. And walk us through that, and then we'll fast forward to you and I and where you were politically before that.
Well, I was born into politics those 6 months ago, I feel like, in that locker room, when I turned around on 4 different occasions to 3 different men in the room with me as I was naked.
What city were we in?
This was in Hollywood, Los Angeles, California.
And you know, they had a similar situation, which was the Wee Spa that happened several years ago, which is, and I'm such a bad host, and we're going to go all the way through it, but I just want people to know that whether it's access to the locker room or it's bringing your dog to the airport and getting on the plane with it, or it's saying your kid is on the spectrum so you can get $1,600 a month from the state, it's all gameable. And people will game whatever you put in front of them. And you can talk all you want about what about service dogs and what about autistic kids and what about trans rights. It's all fine. It's going to get gamed. And there's a lot more people who want to game the system than there are actual disabled people who go to the airport. And that's what you need to know from the beginning. And all of this fraud and all this stuff we're seeing, whether it's LA or Minnesota or all around, is all just people taking advantage of a system. That's why, as kind as your heart may be to go, well, this person identifies, so what's wrong with it? Will be gamed.
Absolutely. I mean, with regard to gender and sex, you know, I don't even see why there's a compromise between it. It just makes zero sense. You know, I'm in the locker room. I turn around on 4 different occasions to 3 different men in the room with me. So these are 3 different unique people. 3 different times.
I thought it was one guy.
No, it was
over the course of how many days?
2 weeks. And
2 weeks.
That's what really had me spun. I was like, one day it happened, I'm like, this has got to be an isolated incident. And then it happens again, and there was nothing that the people could do. They said to me, Tish, our hands are tied by law.
What did these people look like, these men?
Well, the first one was like 25 years old, basketball shorts, and like eyelashes.
So you figure he was, look, if any of us had access to the locker room when we were young men, the ladies' locker room, then we would stroll right into the ladies' locker room.
You know, honestly, it takes a special type of man, and I don't mean special in a good way. I mean a really, really predatory man to go into a women's space knowing he's not welcome in there. So you wouldn't even do it. The average teenager probably wouldn't do it.
I'm sorry to argue with you this early in the podcast. Men, if given the opportunity, will take advantage of the opportunity. Man? Yes, a good man, because it's in our DNA. Now, listen, hold on a second. I'm old now, and I would know better now. But if you got hold of me at 19, and I knew there was naked women behind that door, and I got to go walk in. Now, by the way, I would justify it. I would go, I'm not going to go in there and hurt anybody. I'm just going to sit down on a bench and observe. I'm not going to lay hands on anybody. I'm just there to watch. Like, Yes, and by the way, every guy I went to high school with would do it.
Wow.
But that's my whole point.
See, that's how come that's how you know I'm a woman. I just I can't even think of it.
Right, but what I'm saying is circling back to who would say their kid was autistic in order to get money. Everybody I went to high school with would say their kid was autistic to get money from the state. So the system is broken. That's
Absolutely.
my whole point. By virtue of the fact that you had 3 guys in under 2 weeks.
Yes, and it was 4 different occasions, and over the course of a month, it wound up being 7 times in total that I was in the bathroom naked with a man.
So the first guy's 25, he's just wearing trunks and eyelashes.
Yeah, and he was like, B-word, I'm a woman, and I'm a grown lady. I'm like, excuse me, young man, you need to get out. I am naked. Get out of the room. And he would not leave.
And that's the first guy. What's the second guy?
The second guy is a black male, smaller framed, so, if in a certain world he might be a taller woman, but once you look 30 seconds, you're like, okay, definitely a guy. He had on feminine clothes. He was in the restroom kind of just hanging out on his phone, and I'm trying to get dressed, and I'm just like, what is going on here?
Right. So both guys didn't seem to have much purpose.
No. They were just
because
in the
thing,
room.
if you really think about the mode you're in the locker room, it's all business mode. It's get changed, shut the locker, get out there, finish your workout, shower, I'm always kind of here we go. I don't want to hang out in the locker room. But these guys were kind of loitering, so to speak.
Yeah.
Who's the third and the fourth?
The third guy was the guy that we saw, that everyone saw, Alexis. And this one was he just walked in the bathroom with his chest out. I'm just like, excuse me, I am naked. You cannot be in here. Woman, you need to get with it, sister. I'm a woman, blah, blah, blah. And he has on these tight pants, and all I could see is this big print. And I'm just like, this is insane. And every time I felt violated, I felt hopeless, and I felt confused because I couldn't believe that this wasn't a crime.
And by the way, this is all foisted on us by the party that claims to protect women and love women and believe all women and all their woman stuff. Their number one clients are black women, essentially, that group on the left. We have a clip of you getting into it with Scott Wiener, who seems... It's such a... Here's the thing that's weird about California. When you live in California, you go, man, we got a homeless problem, and we got too much tax and too much regulation, and we got too many potholes, and the schools aren't working well. And then you hear California politicians, and all they do is talk about supporting the LGBT community and fighting Trump and ICE. And you're like, okay, I don't want you to do that stuff. I want you to finish the train and work on traffic and potholes. But anyway, here's you talking to Scott Wiener, who I will just label him at least a deviant. I don't know if he's a criminal, but he's certainly a deviant.
Senator Wiener, as the only black lesbian here, can I please ask you a question, because I flew here to do that? Yeah. Okay. As a lesbian woman who was attacked in the women's locker room at Gold's Gym this week by a self-identifying trans woman with a documented history of domestic violence, I'm deeply concerned about women's safety in female-only spaces. What would you say to women who are seeking assurance that their safety will be protected from men who, by California law, can self-ID as women in women-only spaces, sir? Please tell me.
Yeah. So we want, everyone to be safe.
All right.
And we also know that, we have trans people, both men and women, who are men and women. And so, so if you're a trans women.
All right, pause it. This guy's a fucking dope, but he's so partisan. But they literally, it's funny when they confuse themselves, because I love it. I was reading an article where it's Robert De Niro's daughter is transitioning. And I'm like, his daughter's transitioning? No, his daughter. I'm like, no, his son is transitioning. His daughter is what his son became, not his daughter. But they're so politically correct. Well, then you'd think Robert De Niro has a son because his daughter's transitioning, but he has a daughter because he has a son that transitioned. Also, look out. Everyone beware of the deep leg cross to expose the festive sock. When you see the colorful sock and the deep leg cross, that means hard left. All right, but let's listen to him try to answer your question.
Things with the bills you passed with the housing. I've read a lot of your bills, and like you said, there are bills that need to be opened up, and I'm telling you now, millions of women across America are being harassed and sexually assaulted in locker rooms. I'm a lesbian black woman. I'm not transphobic. I'm not homophobic. And I do respect a lot of the things you've done. But I do see a lot of these bills that you've passed that are dangerous for women and young children. And I understand that you're trying to be on a level playing field. And I'm here to represent my community because I hear a lot of things about my community in these bills. And I'm telling you as a woman, first and foremost, that this is dangerous and we need your help because you're in the office, you're going to go in the Polisky spot. I want to support you. I have millions of people behind me watching this right now, and we want to know, are you going to protect women? Not trans women, women. Trans women are different things. Women. Listen, we need to protect women's safety. I was assaulted. I was assaulted. No, they are not. They are men. I was assaulted by one. He broke his wife's jaw so bad she needed reconstructive surgery. I'm a lesbian. I'm not transphobic and I'm black. So if there's another black woman in here who wants to tell me how they feel, please join in. But all of you are not. And I don't know who you are, what you are, but I'm a lesbian, and I'm telling you right now, men are harassing women in the locker room.
Let's let him answer the question.
Now, real quick, can we pause real quick?
Yeah.
Let me explain something to you. So the reason why I'm standing up and I'm saying this about me being black is because throughout the course of him speaking, he kept making reference. Back in the 60s, it was black women. Today it's trans. And I'm like,
right.
What are y'all saying? Are you saying that the civil rights movement was so that men could wear dresses? I don't think so. And we're not even in this room. So why you keep talking about black people? The liberals, they like to use civil rights to push everything. Yesterday, they're telling me, you shouldn't be saying that as a woman of color. I'm like, saying what? That there are no trans kids? Only kids being abused by perverts?
I got bad news for all my black listeners. They're the party of illegals now. They're not. They pretended like they cared about black people for like 40 years, 50 years. They've turned the page. Whatever they said they were going to do for you guys, what they didn't do, they're not even saying it anymore. They're all about illegals now.
I'll tell you this, Adam. All the parties are doing their own things, and the people are losing and suffering. We need to come to the middle. We need to get off the sides. The plane is left and right. They are in their own crew. We are people trying to survive and live every day. Right now, the parties have caused too much division. We need to focus on legislation and bills that support the things that we want as a country. We are the United States.
Yeah.
And we're becoming divided into two different parties.
Here's the difference. I'll tell you my ultimate white privilege. I don't believe these guys are going to do anything to help me. So I get to just get on with it. I have no thoughts about what are you going to do for me, what are you going to do for my community, how are you going to help uplift me. I know they're not going to do jack shit. If the president is white, he's not doing anything for me. If the president is black, he's not doing anything for me. And I'm now freed up to get on with my business. These guys bullshit communities, LGBT, black community, women of color, whatever. They bullshit them every 4 years like they're going to do something for them, and then everyone waits around. That package is never arriving. And the real white privilege is knowing they're not going to do anything, which is a privilege because you don't waste time waiting for them to do something that they're never going to do.
Well, that's why it's going to take patriot types of people to get out there and fight it, to get out there in the fight. We have to get into the fight because 6 months ago, I woke up and I was faced with the fact that women's laws have been changed and they don't reflect anything that keeps us safe.
No.
I was presented with the fact that my leadership had failed in my city. All of these things I saw within a 6-month period of time of looking for results. So what did I do? I decided that I have to get involved because I don't want to complain from the sidelines. So if more people got involved, we could make a change.
Well, here's the math problem with the involvement. All those dumb shit assholes that were in that room with you got involved.
Yeah.
You got involved, and it's 1 against 46 dipshit assholes with bent ideologies who went male inside a field. They're involved. Hey, Scott Wiener's involved. He's fucking up your life.
We
He's
need
involved.
real people involved.
No, see,
Let's
now
be
it's real.
specific, God.
No, what we
real
need is people agree with me to get involved. And they think the same way. And that's why you're getting booed.
You know, you're right. We just need more people who care about this country, who care about where they live, who care about the laws to get involved. It's hard it's easy to feel like politics is so out of your reach, but it's not. Local politics are within your reach. It's local. You have to get involved.
We should probably hear the rest of
Yeah.
the rest of your battle. So now, to set it for people that are just listening in their car, there's 65 sort of middle-aged white folks sitting in a room. And then Tish is sitting in front of Scott Wiener, who's got the deep leg cross and the festive sock. And she's asking questions. And let's bring it back 30 seconds. Because it is funny when you get booed. Because you said you don't want men. Trans women are. By the way, the one thing about the left is they have statements. And they make statements. And then they ride those statements into the ground. And it doesn't matter if they're true or not. They go, no one's illegal. No human's illegal. Oh, okay. I guess I'm just moving to Canada. Where's the president or the prime minister live in Canada? I'm going to move into his room. And then there is fences don't keep people out. It's like, oh, yes, they do. Oh, yes, they do. And then a trans woman is a woman. You know, they make proclamations that are semi-retarded. Would you rather have, I love when they do this one, they go, would you rather have a living daughter or a dead son? It's like, okay, none of that makes sense. It's all a fucking lie. And you guys, somebody spoon feeds it to you, and then you repeat, oh, by the way, the illegal aliens are a net positive. They pay more and use less and create less crime. Oh, are these all things you're just pulling out of your ass? They pull them out of their ass, they graft them onto the retarded constituency, and then they repeat them like fucking parrots, and then it just becomes their mantra. And then when some normal person says, ho, I don't want men in a woman. Whoa. Trans guys with penises and nutsacks are women. Oh, okay. Somebody told you that. Okay, so play it. Sorry.
Protect women, not trans women. Women, trans women are different things. Women. Listen, we need to protect women's safety. I was assaulted. I was assaulted. No, they are not. They are men. I was assaulted by men. He broke his wife's jaw so bad she needed reconstructive surgery. I'm a lesbian. I'm not transphobic and I'm black. So if there's another black woman in here who wants to tell me how they feel, please join in. But all of you are not. And I don't know who you are, what you are, but I'm a lesbian, and I'm telling you right now, men are harassing women in the locker room.
Let's let him answer the question.
I'm just telling you, since y'all want to woo.
No, just let's.
Now I'm done. And by the way, I respect what you have done. I just want to let you know that.
Let's give the senator the opportunity.
I'm done.
I appreciate your point of view.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry that you were harassed,
Multiple times.
and I appreciate you talking about it. I think we need to protect the safety of all women.
All women, right.
And that, obviously, that's incredibly important.
All right, pause. Here's a fundamental math problem. If I say, look, Tish, you can use the bathroom here, but I need to protect all women. And then Dawson over there with his beard goes, hey, boss, I'm a woman. I'll go, oh, okay, go ahead and use the bathroom with Tish. Because now I'm protecting all women, and there's no barrier to entry for becoming a woman. So go ahead and take your cock and balls and go ahead and show them to Tish in the bathroom because you're what? A woman, right? And I protect all women. So obviously he's lying. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. So what he does is go, trans women are women, and now I protect all women.
Yeah, they use that wording. And it's insane when they say the LGBTQ prescription plus. My thing is this. Go figure. The lesbian doesn't want to be naked in front of a man. I mean, when did this become controversial?
There's 40-something men in women's prisons. 47 who are raping women prisoners.
Yes.
And this is some kind of argument we're having. It's upside down world, but we'll let Scott the Wiener finish.
That trans women are also
All right, sorry.
in this country.
Go back. Sorry, go back like 20 seconds. Yeah, trans women are brutalized. By the way, the trans women are brutalized thing is the same pitch they were selling with white supremacy is the biggest problem this nation's favor, the most dangerous because white friends. This is more bullshit that they're peddling. But keep going.
Let's give the senator the opportunity.
I'm done.
I appreciate your point of view.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry that you were harassed,
Multiple times.
and I appreciate you talking about it.
All right.
I think we need to protect the safety of all women.
All women.
And that obviously that's incredibly important. And I also know that trans women are also brutalized in this country. So women and cisgender women are brutalized in this country, and we have to protect the safety of all women.
Oh, wait, hold on. Women and cisgender. Cisgender just means what your mom is, Dawson? Is cisgender just your mom and
It means
my
you're
old mom?
a dude, or you're a real biological male or female. That's my
I thought
understanding of what
cisgender was
means.
normal.
Normal, yes, normal.
Oh, well,
Yes.
that doesn't mean you're... Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So he says we need to protect women and cisgendered people. So look up the definition of cisgender. But the whole point is women and cisgender, when he says women, then he means trans women. Because he's saying basically you and the guy who was in the locker room checking you out.
Yeah.
By the way, worry about the verbiage, everyone. Everyone makes up tons of new words and then they confuse everyone. Andrew, cisgender is just regular gender, right? Yes. Okay. Listen to him again because it's kind of insane. He goes women and cisgender.
Expert culinary word salad there.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry that you were harassed,
Multiple times.
and I appreciate you talking about it. I think we need to protect the safety of all women, and that obviously that's incredibly important. And I also know that trans women are also brutalized in this country. So women and cisgender women are brutalized in this country, and we have to.
All right, so he goes, transgender are being brutalized, and then he goes, and women and cisgender are being. So he then converted transgender into women right there. I love the war on women, the bullshit war on women that's taking place in California with Gavin Newsom's fucking wife sitting in an $8 million house somewhere drinking a $40 smoothies. So worried about the oppression of the ladies. All right, so we're going to save women and trans women and cisgender women. All right, we got 3 categories here. Let's hear them.
We cannot be raped in the bathrooms by men that want to say they're women. They're not women. They're not women. I'm leaving. It's okay, but I'm not going to take it. I am leaving because you know what? You guys are not protecting women. You're doing a lot. The bills that you're passing for the law, I read a lot of them. They're great. But this things with the trans, it's not right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So what's his plan?
Tish Hyman.
All right, so his plan about men, perverts in locker rooms that are menacing women and maybe more is that trans women are being brutalized and cis women and trans women need to be taken care of. I didn't hear a lot. I didn't hear a plan. You know what I mean? Like, here's all I'm saying. The left does this all the fucking time. You know, I'll give you a plan. They go like, Adam, what's your plan? Well, I got a plan, by the way, but I'll tell you about it in a minute. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to put a divider up in the ladies' locker room, and the guys who identify as women or whatever must stay in that area of the locker room or whatever it is. It's bullshit, but at least it's something. Me saying everybody deserves to be treated with dignity and then going home is not a fucking plan that's going to keep the wangs out of your locker room.
Absolutely. And I mean, the truth of the matter is this is not a woman's issue where a man who decided to feminize himself goes to the restroom. And
I got a 19-year-old daughter. She goes to the gym all the time. I don't want her seeing this.
We're missing the point that it's not women's problem. It's not our problem. It's go pee with your brothers. Go men, whatever type of experience these men are having is a unique male experience. Nothing about it is a woman's experience.
Well, let me tell you the problem, because I'm older than you, and I've been around. we used to have titles, and the titles would be transvestite or cross-dresser. Mm-hmm. And a cross-dresser was just a dude who may have been married, may work at the post office, may have his buddies at the Moose Lodge, and he would just come home at night and put on his wife's dress. That was a cross-dresser. Then we had transvestite. That was a dude who just dressed like a chick and went out. Then we had pre-op transvestite and post-op transvestite. So we knew where everyone was.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't know where you're at, but here's where I'm at. If you go full bottom surgery and top surgery and you got all your parts are gone, which is basically a weapon inside of a woman's locker room, then if you've cut off your weapon, go use the locker room. I don't want dudes with wangs and balls in there hanging out in the ladies' locker room. And it's pretty straightforward. You just go, look, if you're a post-op transvestite, then go ahead. If you're pre-op, you got a cock and balls, and no, you can't go in there because what's to stop anyone from going in there?
I mean, I think that's a perfectly male solution, but the reality is that women are a completely different thing. It's not, the man is not on the outside, it's on the inside. So whether or not he cuts off all the parts and feminizes himself, within his spirit there is a man. And when he enters that locker room, he enters it as a man, no matter what his outside parts say. And we shouldn't have to deal with that. It's not our responsibility what a man's mental health is. We're not shields for men's mental health.
Let me push back. I'm with you, but when we're talking about what I'm talking about now, we're talking about way less than 1/10 of 1%. Like, you'd never see that guy. He'd be a white buffalo. That would effectively eliminate that person because they don't
want to cut off the part.
They don't really exist in any numbers. Like, you would probably sail through your life without meeting that guy. Number one. Number two, and I agree with you spiritually, but once you got your parts cut off, you're kind of inert. Like, you cannot physically rape anybody. So there's that part. I mean, you can try, but I know what you're saying, but I'll for the sake of argument, I'll go. You sort of left your gun in the car, but
you got a knife.
Okay, you got a knife. I will give you that.
Physically strong. They're just strong.
I got you.
There are men whose things don't work down there and they still rape women.
Here's what I'm pushing back on. Mm-hmm. If you get your parts cut off, you did your bottom surgery now, right? Now you're in a no man's land, pardon the pun, because I cannot. If you're the mayor, I don't get to use the locker room, but I have female parts now, and now I got to use the men's locker room with female parts, and now we have a different set of circumstances and things
now they've
to go
got
wrong.
their things they need to go fight for, the same way that women fought for our spaces.
Right.
It's not our problem.
I get it. Listen, this is basically, it's like saying, look, anyone here illegal's got to go, and then somebody goes, I know, but what about Hector, my gardener? He's been here for 21 years, and he's a good dude, And here's what I would say. Here's what I would say. Hector's not the problem. I agree. Everyone's got to go. Let's start with the gangbangers and the rapists and the murderers, and if we ever get to Hector, we'll get to Hector. And that's what I'm saying is, look, if you've undergone all the surgery, go ahead. But there's not enough of you that you'll ever see one. And it eliminates the bullshitters who are gaming the system who want to just hang out in the locker room.
Well, the problem with that theory is that there are children now that are being convinced that they're trans. And these children are young enough that they would go through with these surgeries. I've met many detransitioners. So now we have a grown man who has sexually disfigured. His body is disfigured. And his mind is not in the right space as well because he's grown now and he's still very strong. This is just something that women and men should just have to be completely separate. Whatever's going on in a man's mind that makes him feminize himself or believe whatever this ideology is, that's on him. That's a man's problem. If he feels endangered in the men's room, he has to take it up with the men. It's not women's problem. It's dangerous. It's just completely dangerous. I don't have a problem with these guys.
I'm with you. My solution is there to shut them up. Which is basically going, hey, bitch, if you really think you are one, then cut your dick off and go use the fucking locker room or shut up. So I've settled it. I'm fair. If you want to go do this, if you're really a woman, then go do it. Their problem is this bizarre blurring of everything. We had post-op transsexual. We knew what they were. Now you've bled that down into just dudes with beards who want to hang out and look at naked ladies. That's this douche's problem. And you have a constituency, which is a bunch of semi-retarded, super leftist, progressive, angry white people who have fucking drank the Kool-Aid, who are going to boo him if he says anything other than what he's saying. And all he can say is nonsense.
Yeah.
So now you have the left is being ruled by a hard left group of lunatics. Guys like Gavin Newsom are trying to pretend they're sane, so they have to go, well, yes, biological men should not be able to compete with women and blah, 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 but then they have to toggle back. They have to pretend they're sane, but they have a lunatic fringe that they have to keep happy as well, which is going to make them The reason Gavin Newsom just flip-flops all the time and Kamala Harris just flip-flops all the time is because they have hard left people that are insane, that America doesn't want, but they have to kind of satiate them while they're telling the majority of Americans normal things.
Yeah, it's quite the debacle there. You know, it's just terrible. You know, it's a whole lot of
it's not
confusion.
really. It's not their. See, the thing about Gavin Newsom or Wiener, it's not really their fault. It's the 50 nut jobs in the room cheering him on and booing you. It's their fault. These guys are just doing what they want them to do. If they all told him to go vegan, he'd go vegan. If they told him, by the way, if they told him to protect the border and call in ICE, then he'd protect the border and call in ICE. They're just doing what they said. I mean, you know what? I'll give you a crazy one, Tish. And by the way, where should people go if they want to find you and support you and listen to your music as well?
Oh, you can find me on @listen, LISTEN, 2, Tish, TISH. And you can also follow my page for mayor. It's Hyman, HYMAN, 4, mayor, MAYOR.
There's a tweet that Nithya Raman put out, who's another super-tard leftist socialist nutjob.
Nightmare. Nithya nightmare.
Nithya may be worse than Karen Bass.
I think so, yes.
I think, I'm not saying a worse person. I don't know her person. I'm saying might be worse for this city than
Absolutely.
Karen Bass because she's more of a socialist. And she's also dim. Like, her thoughts don't really track or make sense. But there was a tweet. Now, just to let you know where we're at in Los Angeles, she puts a tweet out, and I'll just read it. We don't need to listen to it. But she basically says Spencer Pratt's run for mayor is no joke. He's a MAGA Republican who has vowed to work with ICE, a federal law enforcement agency. Could you imagine a mayor of one of the biggest cities in the country? She says, we can't have this guy cooperating with the law enforcement community. But so he's dangerous because he's vowed to work with ICE and end Los Angeles' sanctuary city ordinances. So this guy's dangerous because he's going to work with the federal law enforcement community and because he does not want unvetted illegals showing up here, dealing drugs, prostitution, human trafficking, murder, cartels. He believes there should be law and order, and for that, Nithya Raman, the woman who wants to be mayor, is saying this out loud.
Yes. She's saying that out loud, and I think it's ridiculous because, one, you're speaking about him, saying he's a MAGA this or that, and all of this. It's like, why don't you talk about what you're going to do for the city? How about you talk about what you're actually going to do?
They're running on Trump.
It's just Trump. I'm so sick of people talking about the president. It's like, what are you going to do? Okay, yeah, so you hate Trump. Okay, got it. What are you going to do? What is your plan? Other than riling people up, and I've been to so many of these town hall meetings and so many different council meetings, it's just like, we're going to go after Trump. When I went and spoke and approached Eric Swalwell, his whole rally was, I went after Trump. I went after Trump. It's like, all right, guy, great, but what are you going to do? Are you going to protect women? Oh, all trans women or women, trans kids. It's like all the same stuff. It's a bunch of malarkey, a bunch of people saying crap, and no one's really listening. When it comes to Weiner, he's putting these bills into office. He's the one behind a lot of these bills that have prostitutes all over Figueroa, that have children now making their own doctor's appointments at 13. It's like, what is going on? Our state leaders and our city leaders are not concerned with what we really need as citizens. And that's what's happening. But that's why we need more people getting involved. People have got to start paying attention. You know how many people I've spoken to in LA that don't even know that there's an election happening?
Oh, man.
Tapped out, drained, tired. But we don't have time for that. We really don't. And I respect Spencer Pratt for coming out and saying what he's got to say and stepping in there. At the end of the day, the worst thing that can happen to Los Angeles is another 4 years of Karen Bass and with Nithya anywhere near the seat. I've been telling people this for weeks. I'm very worried about this election. I don't sleep very well at night because all I want is the best thing for LA. And I met Spencer the other day. Nice guy, I feel his passion. Yeah. But like I told him, I said, listen, we've got to fight. We've got to come together and fight because the reality of it is that there's just not enough on our side to put the bet all on him getting out of there with Karen. She beat Rick Caruso. Yeah. The best bet that LA's got is to get behind me and Spencer Pratt and drive us to the final election in November.
Oh, by the way, speaking of, you can get rid of the Nithya Raman thing. I've said enough about her. But speaking of ICE and the illegals, it was she wants to be. By the way, did we vote on this being a sanctuary city? Like, I live in this city. I pay taxes in this city. I don't want it to be a sanctuary city. How come you get to decide it's going to be a sanctuary city and then have a bunch of fucking illegals living everywhere, not paying taxes and throwing garbage in the streets? I didn't vote for that. But I forgot a story that you probably didn't know about and that is lost to the dustbin of history, which is a writer, Adrian Shelley, and we're going to have to pull this story, and Dawson's going to have to take a look at it, but I was talking to Andrew about it. There was a movie that was a popular movie. It's 20 years old now, maybe a little more. It's called Waitress, and Cheryl Hines was in it, and this writer, female writer, Adrian Shelley was in it, and so was, what the hell is... Got to think of the last one. Anyway, it was a fairly popular movie, critically acclaimed. And the woman who wrote it, she wrote it and she starred in it, and it got a lot of good notices, and she was kind of on her way. She was an attractive blonde lady. She lived in New York. This is 20 years ago. Give me the cast of that movie, Andrew. But she was killed by an illegal. She was murdered. And a person that shouldn't have been in the country just murdered her. And she's literally probably coming off the success of Waitress, which was a successful movie, and I know how the business works. She's probably at work on her next project. She's working on, Carrie Russell was who I was trying to think of. Had Andy Griffith in it. Yeah, now, the movie came out when and she was murdered when. But the point is she had some traction, she had some success, and she's probably working on her next project. And so she goes into her office in Manhattan on a Saturday, I believe, and is working on her writing. And there is an illegal doing work in like a unit next to her office, and they're banging away and, hammering away on a Saturday. And I believe she goes, hey, you're not supposed to be working here on a Saturday. Like, stop your work. You're making too much noise. And the guy murders her. He didn't rob her. He didn't come over. He didn't show up to work to rob her or anything. First off, there's a deep cultural divide in a lot of these countries where a lot of these people come here. These are murderous countries, a lot of them. Murder's not a big deal to them. Or maybe if a woman disrespects you or something like that, it's different. But this guy comes in, we'll figure it out. So, the movie was released posthumously. It came out.
Oh, my God.
She was killed in November of 2006. It came out 6 months later. Oh, she was dead and starring in a movie she wrote. Oh, all right.
That's terrible.
Sorry, but this would have catapulted her to the next level. Diego Pilco, an illegal from Ecuador, murder. Give me the story. I don't want to see the guy. The guy does a TED Talk from prison, by the way.
He did a TED Talk?
We were an insane. Our society's insane. Just give me the story, Dawson, then we'll get to this. Because, Andrew, we got to do the story, and then there's the TED Talk. Get the order figured out. Come on.
Tragically, Shelley would never get to experience or even know about her film's success. She died November 1st, 2006, before Waitress was released. Writes that her husband, Andy Ostroy, became worried when Shelley failed to check in with him. He dropped her off at the office earlier that day. When she hadn't contacted him, he headed to the building where he found a horrifying scene. Shelley was dead in the bathroom, hanging from a shower rod.
All right, pause. The guy killed her and then didn't know what to do with her. So he hung her. And the New York PD was like, well, I guess she killed herself. And the husband was like, she just rapped on a movie that's going to change her life.
Yeah.
And she didn't talk about killing her. No, she didn't kill herself. And they were like, well, we found her hanging. And they were like, all right, moving on. The husband basically pushed and said, are you nuts? Somebody killed her. Go find him. They're going to let the guy go. Go ahead.
At the husband's insistence, police continued their investigation and found footprints left in Shelley's bathroom. They were quickly identified as belonging to 19-year-old construction worker Diego Pilco. New York Post writes that Pilco was working on another apartment in Shelley's building. A footprint in that apartment matched the one in Shelley's bathroom. Pilco was arrested and quickly confessed to the murder.
All right. Then, by the way, can you imagine her husband? You got this woman that's on the launching pad about to take off in her business. She just goes to work and just gets murdered by a dude who just don't like her attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't hold her up at a liquor store. He wasn't stealing her catalytic converter when she came running out. He murdered her because she bothered him.
Yeah.
She said, hey, keep it down. That's how easy it is for him to murder someone. But he's not supposed to be in this country, and he's living in a fucking sanctuary city like Nithya Raman once, and now we got ourselves a dead woman.
Yes.
And then he hung her, and the police decided it was suicide. So now, this is 20 years ago. This dude was 19. He's going to be a youngish man in his 40s when he gets out of prison. He's getting out. He's getting out in a few.
He didn't get life?
Sentenced to 25 years.
He's getting out in a few years. He's getting out. And, hey, does anyone need a handyman? This guy's getting out in a few years.
What happened to life for a life? How can you get 25 years when you took someone's entire life?
And by the way, where the fuck is Hollywood on this story, you assholes, you hypocrite assholes? Where are you, Hollywood? Still worried about ICE, are you? Going to push back against ICE? Hollywood, young woman murdered by an illegal? No thoughts? No. We're not worried about her. We're worried about the chick in the minivan who got shot in Minnesota. That's where all your ire is. But you do not have any thoughts about Adrian Shelley. Never heard it brought up. No thoughts. Doesn't fit. Does not fit the narrative. He's now given a TED Talk from prison.
That's
by
insane.
the way. All right. Here he is. Wait, the internet's crazy, right? We found a TED Talk he's given from prison because, why shouldn't he give a TED Talk from prison?
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to tell my story. I'm from Ecuador. I have been incarcerated for 16 years. Let me fill in on what got me here and the progress I have made.
Hold on a second. Gavin Newsom's wife wants guys like this on the street. That's when she's talking about, I ran over my sister with a golf cart, but I talked to a lot of guys in prison. You know, mistakes happen. This is basically this is who she's talking about. These fucking people are dangerous at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Sorry, we'll hear a little more.
I have been incarcerated for 16 years. Let me fill in on what got me here and the progress I have made over the years. At the age of 18, I decided to immigrate to the United States, seeking a better life in the future for my family, especially my parents. My parents took a $13,000 loan from the bank in order to pay the smuggler to take me here, not to jail, but the United States. It was a risky journey. Many people have died attempting the very journey that I was about to take, but that didn't stop me. I was determined to follow my dreams. The hardest thing to do was saying goodbye to my family. Back in June of 2005 was the last time I hugged and kissed my parents and siblings.
All right, pause.
On that day,
he's a hero. You think he's going to go on? Now, if I'm just watching this and someone goes, "Who's this guy?" I go, "Well, he probably invented a salsa or something, had a huge company, and is going to talk about having 500 employees and then sending from his parents from Ecuador." No, he just murdered some bitch because she told him to keep it down. We are nuts as a fucking society. This guy should have got the death penalty, but most importantly, he shouldn't have been here. But by the way, guess who goes to sanctuary cities? It's like we have a homeless problem because we invite homeless to come here. So we make it easy for homeless. So they end up here. So we're going to attract more illegal criminals because we are a sanctuary city. And Nithya Raman thinks it's dangerous for us not to be a sanctuary city.
Yeah, Nithya is a nightmare. She's the worst thing that could happen to Los Angeles. You know, it's really scary. Like I said, I'm constantly thinking about how this election's going to go and what's next for L.A.
This guy's got a TED Talk. I wonder if he got a round of applause. Now,
I can't believe he's like, and I made the long trip. You made the long trip and you came over here and killed somebody? Like, you're talking about it like this was such an important thing. They took a $13,000 loan and you came over here and you killed someone.
What is the story, Dawson? I mean, that story, the one you had kind of glossed past it, but I know more about it just because I dig into stuff. She was working and he was doing construction.
She, according to this article, she caught him breaking into her apartment.
Oh, but he was doing construction there. Nah, find another article I keep reading about because he was not there to break in. He was there to do construction. Probably we'll find some version of that. But anyway, he'll be on the street soon. So maybe he'll come to Los Angeles if Nithya's in charge because, you know, we're a sanctuary city and we invite these people.
God.
By the way, how much does this guy cost us? How much? How many millions and millions of not only forget about, you know, people go, oh, it's $50,000 a year to incarcerate these guys. All right, so he's in 25 years, so we're 2.5 there. But it's not just that. Let's see, are we 2.5 on that? Got to figure that out. Man, that's 30. Okay, my point is this. These guys have court-appointed attorneys, judges, bailiffs, the entire system.
Yes.
These millions of dollars. Oh, he entered the apartment to rob her while he was working at the nearby apartment. All right, so it's kind of both. He was working. Sorry, forgot it, Dawson.
Yeah, okay, so 19-year-old construction worker from Ecuador arrested on November 6th confessed on tape to attacking Shelley and staging the fake suicide. Pilco's original version claimed that when Shelley demanded the construction noise be kept down, he threw a hammer at her. Afraid she might make a complaint that could result in his deportation, since he had immigrated to the United States illegally, he followed her back to her apartment. Pilco said Shelley slapped him when he grabbed her at the apartment door, and he retaliated by punching her in the face, knocking her to the floor, where she hit her head and fell unconscious. Before he had killed her, he then hanged her to make it appear as a suicide. The version of events was not supported given the lack of head trauma and the presence of neck compression as the cause of death.
But
then
so
he gave a different
I'm still
account.
confused. So he wasn't breaking into her apartment.
No. That's what he said originally.
Uh-huh.
And now it's going into what really happened. Pilko gave a different account during the trial in 2008. He said he was returning to work after lunch, noticed Shelley returning to her apartment in the elevator, decided to follow and rob her.
Okay.
He said he waited on the landing of her apartment as she entered and left the door open.
By the way,
intended to steal money from her
how
purse.
many of these ticking time bombs are floating around? I mean, you're hanging drywall until noon. You go down, you get a burrito, you're heading back upstairs on any given Saturday, and you just see some skinny white chick, and you go, oh, well, you know what I think I'll do? I think I'll just rob her, and maybe I'll kill her. That's what you want in your fucking city?
No, we don't need that in our city. We need our city to be safe, and Nithya is the opposite of that. She's going to do the opposite of that and everything we need. So we need to make sure that we do not have Nithya anywhere near the mayor's seat.
All right. We'll take a break before we do some news. Hyman, 4, the number 4, mayor.com.
Yes, sir.
This is where you go. Good chatting with you.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll have you back.
I'd love to. We got to talk more about my policies here.
Well, I know what your policies are.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to be like Spencer Pratt for mayor. They're not going to get it. What we got to do is we got to make sure that Nithya doesn't get in. Here's my thoughts on it. We're off?
No.
Oh, we're still going?
We're still going.
Oh. My bad.
I
thought you
care.
were saying bye.
I was, but then you wouldn't let me.
All right, so here's my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this election here. We have Spencer Pratt polling at 11% now.
Mm-hmm.
Nithya's at 9%. Karen's at 25%. We have 41% of people who are undecided.
Mm-hmm.
And this is unique and rare in any election that we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
What we need to realize here is this, because I met Spencer and I really like him.
Mm-hmm.
So, right now, they're thinking Spencer's a sure shot into this final 2. But there's no sure shot right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few things. He's a 50% chance that he won't even make it into the general election if Nithya and the DSA's money can make that so.
What's the DSA? Democrat?
The Democratic Socialists of America. They're the worst.
All right.
And that's who's behind her, right? So there's a 50-50 shot that in the final 2 is just her and Karen, which is a nightmare. Because we're really just sitting there not knowing which way the coin's
Well, you
gonna
just have
land.
to move at that point.
I don't want to move, but
I don't, but you got to move.
It's going to get wild.
Right.
Or it's a chance that he'll go in and wind up in the final 2 and go against Karen, and she might outclass him.
That's true.
And we've got to remember she beat Rick Caruso, and he had a lot of money.
I know, and a lot of good ideas. I do think there's a lot of buyer's remorse. I think if you ask most Los Angelinos if you could go back and redo it, would you rather have Rick Caruso? All the sane ones for sure.
But he's no Rick Caruso. He's no Rick Caruso, right? So to me, it's like there's a 50-50 shot on each side that Spencer still, it's not 100% on him or even 80. You understand?
Yeah, I get it.
So I say, listen, Los Angeles, we've got to wake up. We've got to wake up, Los Angeles. The final 2 should be Spencer Pratt and Tish Hyman. If you're not voting for Tish Hyman, you're voting for Spencer Pratt. If you're voting for anybody else, you hate LA and you want us to wind up in a utopian nightmare, okay? It's serious. It's very, very serious. Another thing about me and Spencer is that we love LA and we actually care about what's happening. We've met, we were friendly enough, we have the energy between us. No matter which way you land, you're safer than you are with Nithya and Karen. We've got to knock them out. We've got to knock them out. Get me polling. Get Spencer more numbers. We need to be the final 2 in the general. And guess what else is going to happen, Adam? It's going to be the most incredible and entertaining mayoral debate you'll ever see.
That I agree.
Like the final night fight finale.
Yeah. All right. Dystopian, by the way. He said utopian. I don't want people
Sorry,
to think
dystopian.
It's going to be good. It's going to be bad. All right, Tish. We'll take a break. Be back with Rooting the News right after this. Aura. You going to just get mom flowers this Mother's Day, or do you want to do something she'll like? She fed you for 18 years and beyond with a lot of people I know. The least you can do is make her special day actually special this time, and that's why this Mother's Day you should get her an Aura frame. The technology is insane. Aura is the world's smartest digital frame. They have free unlimited storage, so you can add as many photos and videos as you want, and you can preload photos before it ships. Keep adding from anywhere, anytime. I have one here we put it right up front in the lobby, and it's got all the guests I've loved over the years. And it makes me happy when I walk past it and I see it. So you can make Mother's Day special with Aura Frames. Right, Dawson?
Named #1 by Wirecutter, you can save on the gifts Mom loves by visiting auraframes.com. For a limited time, listeners can get $25 off their best-selling Carver mat frame with code Carolla. That's AURA frames.com. Promo code Carolla. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Yeah, O'Reilly Auto Parts. You know the jingle. They're in the business of keeping your car on the road. They are not too many car issues I'm not aware of or I can't figure it out. But if I get stumped, first call, always O'Reilly, immediately. They've got thousands of parts in stock, either in store or online, so you never have to worry if you're in a jam. They'll also test your battery for free. So if it needs to be replaced, they can help you find the right one because size is important when it comes to batteries. So, whether you're a car aficionado or an auto novice, you'll see the employees at O'Reilly Auto Parts are helpful and they're friendly. They always help me out. And like I said, they held the door for me last time I was there. O'Reilly is your one-stop shop for all things auto do-it-yourself. So O'Reilly, right, Dawson?
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit us at O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Ace. Rich man, poor man. Warm toilet seat. Either he's got the heated Toto or he's sharing the bathroom with too many people.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Writing that one down. Rich man, poor man, warm toilet seat.
Yeah, if you're rich enough, you actually have somebody go in and warm it up for you, if that's your thing. That's my kink anyways.
Well, let me tell you how I stay rich.
Okay. Let me get a pen.
I used to pay two separate guys. One guy to break in my Italian loafers.
Okay, loafers.
And the other guy to walk my dog. But at some point, I was like, if I'm paying this dude good cash to break in my my Bruno Maggi's, why can't I just have him hold the leash? And then he could break in my loafers while he's walking my dog. So I got rid of the dog walking guy.
Yeah.
All right, so A, that's money in my pocket. Number one. But you bring up a good point. Why can't I have my loafer break-in guy be my toilet seat warmer as well? Let him sit on that toilet and run in place with those loafers all day while my dog sits in the bathroom with him.
Get yourself a thick thigh guy just to sit down. Yeah, absolutely.
Also, I like the heavier set guys because it breaks in the loafers a lot faster.
Absolutely, yeah. And if you really want to go streamline, you name the dog Bruno as well. He can break in the Brunos while giving some exercise to Bruno.
Yeah.
While he's sitting on a place to make Pruno.
You're not making sense now, Rudy. Now you're kind of making a farce out of a good idea. This is a solid money-making idea.
I'm
and you're
spitballing.
fucking,
no bad ideas,
spit
Ace.
into a different fan because this guy's not one. But anyway, you people listening who are struggling to make ends meet, fire the dog walker, keep the loafer breaker in her, and then use that guy as a toilet seat warmer. Yeah. And then don't hassle me about rich not paying their fair share or some people can't afford Italian loafer breaker in her. Tired of it.
Yeah.
Fucking tired of it. Go fucking cry to somebody else.
Yeah, tired of getting that economy-size rental car. You can get a mid-size if you stick to the Adam Carolla plan to make money.
Yeah.
Savings plan here.
All right. There's there's a couple things I want to get into before we get into the news. That Pritzker being interviewed on CNN makes me laugh as long as we're talking about illegals and sanctuary cities. Chicago's a sanctuary city. I guess Illinois is a sanctuary state. I don't exactly know. First off, I'm not sure that it's even legal for a mayor just to declare stuff. We have a federal government, we have rules about illegal aliens coming into this country. Oh, here's what I'm saying. And maybe it's true. Can the mayor of Chicago just go, there's no such thing as illegal drunk driving anymore in the city of Chicago. We're not going to enforce any of that. You get as drunk as you want, drive as much as you want. Sorry, come fight me, Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't feel even legal to me. But Pritzker is great because he's going to lay out a problem, everybody. And you tell me who it affects. And by the way, they have a few angles. They have racist and homophobic, but once in a while when the Southern Poverty Law Center gets popped, they go, all right, off racism. Not a popular thing. Racism not working for us now. We'll go into the dictator. We'll go to the tyrannical. They'll go, you can see them moving their chips around the board. Like they'll do racism for a while, and then Southern Poverty Law Center will come out, and then they'll go, okay, no more racism for a minute. Let's go talk about dictatorships now for a while. No kings. Yeah. And when they get bored with that, they'll go back to racism. But he is talking about their new constituency, the Democratic Party, is illegals. That's all they got now. So he's got a plan, but you tell me what the plan is.
Voting.
And by the way, who's interviewing him? That fucking dumb cow. Somebody's got to ask these guys some fucking questions. Yeah. Oh, it's Nicole Wallace. Okay, she's inert. But anyway, you know the thing about her is like, I think she thinks she's a journalist, which is crazy.
Yeah.
You're not a journalist. You're partisan, and you don't ask any questions to your friends. But here we go.
Somebody wearing a uniform and an automatic weapon with a mask on. Those
go
people
back.
Cannot
Sorry, just go back
you.
like 10 seconds. Go ahead. Sorry.
ICE and CBP for the ways that we are looking at doing that is making sure that, first of all, that we're taking them to court ahead of time to keep those troops, those ICE and CBP agents away from the voting booth. Second, we've got to communicate to the public about their rights. You have every right to go vote, even if you see somebody wearing a uniform and an automatic weapon with a mask on. Those people cannot prevent you from voting.
Is there anybody who thinks it's like saying, look, when you go to the airport, you have a right to travel. And if you see a guy there with a gun and a badge, do not let that scare you away from the airport. It's like, yeah, I know. I live in this country. There's security everywhere. Hey, if you ever go to a Knicks game or a Lakers game, you are going to see uniformed guys with guns and badges standing there. Do not turn around and go home.
Yeah.
You may enter the forum. Yeah, if you have a fucking ticket, you can enter.
Yeah, if you see a guy named Bill with a wand patting you down for a gun, you are allowed to go into that stadium.
And see Metallica.
Yes.
Right. All right. So he's saying we have to get the message out to whom? Who? Does anyone in this building need a message? Like, listen, you walk into a fucking Walmart, there's a guy standing at the door with a fucking gun and a badge now. Why? You go into a synagogue, there's a guy standing there at the door with a gun and a badge. Is that...
I stopped at a Marshall's 2 days ago. There was two guys standing there, like literally full, like armed to the teeth. And I was like, we're all buying $10 shirts here. Do we need this guy? But you're right. They're everywhere you go.
$10 shirts.
Yeah.
I got Bruno Mali's, bro. Those are $3,300 a piece.
Well, I don't have dog walking, breaking shoe money.
Who breaks in your shirts?
Well, it's going to have to be the same guy that you hire. Can I piggyback?
No, he won't do that because he's heavy set, remember. He doesn't fit in my shirt.
Well, listen, we'll just...
All right, we'll talk off the air about your financials.
Yes.
All right, so anyway, he's worried about people. All right. Nicole Wallace doesn't go, hold on, who are you talking about? But here we go.
To the public about their rights. You have every right to go vote, even if you see somebody wearing a uniform and an automatic weapon with a mask on. Those people cannot prevent you from voting. And I know it's scary.
Scary. All right, pause it. By the way, they do the scary thing. They love the scary. It's all scary. I don't know. I'm kind of the opposite. When you take all the guys with the guns and the badges and you throw them out of town, that's when it devolves into fucking Sodom and Gomorrah. That's when I get scared.
Appreciate those guys.
I do too. But anyway, it's scary. It's either, by the way, it's racist, it's dictator, it's LGBTQ, and then there's mean and scary. This guy's mean. Or he's scary. Okay, so it's scary to go vote when there's security. But okay, keep going.
People cannot prevent you from voting. And I know it's scary, but this moment is the moment in which you need to get over your fear and go into the ballot box and show America that we are going to restore our democracy. We need everybody to go vote. That communication needs to happen. And then finally, many of us have talked about organizing to have people at the polling places to escort people in to make sure they don't feel intimidated by these people. All right, so hold on. So just some average American's going to go, where you vote? You go, you vote on 5th and Elm. And then I go down there and I see uniform guys there and I go, I'm getting back in my car. Mm-hmm. And then I show up. I muster the courage. I'm scared, but I muster the courage to go to the front door and look at the uniform guys who don't even notice me. And then you're going to have a liaison. Maybe the guy breaks in my loafers. He's going to walk me in, and I'm going to be trembling, scared, sweating, frightened. And then he's going to walk me in and go, shh, it's okay to vote.
There's a binky inside of the booth.
Yeah, and I'm going to go, I've been voting for 41 years. And he's going to go, shh.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Rockabye and good night.
It's okay. By the way, that's my grandma's volunteer. Shh. All right, so then they're going to organize and they're going to have escorts to walk you in. Okay.
Polling places to escort people in to make sure they don't feel intimidated by these people who have no right to be there. Their only purpose, ICE and CBP and National Guard, their only purpose will be to scare people away. And we don't want that. And by the way, all we want is for eligible voters, U.S. citizens who are eligible voters, to go in and vote. And we just don't want people to be afraid to go vote. So the more communication we can have, the more escorts.
Nicole Wallace, how about you do half of your job and just go, I have no idea what you're talking about. Who are the people you speak of? And then you go, well, there's a lot of people in the Latino community. And then you go, but here legally. Right? Mm-hmm. Who are working. And by the way, let me put it to you this way. Half the people in this country just don't vote in general.
Yeah.
And they're citizens and they're born here and they don't vote. The folks that do vote are usually engaged in the system unless they're being rounded up by Democrats and bussed to go vote like illegally. If they're physically showing up, and by the way, that's ballot harvesting. They'll get those guys with mail-in ballots. What percentage of people are just in the system, here legally, engaged enough, paying taxes, and would be, I guess, of some sort of Hispanic, identity, who would walk in, who wouldn't know that you could just walk in because you have a wallet and a license and an ID and a Social Security number? Like, who we talking about? And Nicole Wallace, if you did your fucking job and you weren't a partisan hack, you would ask this guy who he's referring to and then how it would prevent anybody from voting.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen Nana, as you mentioned, standing at the table going, this ID picture doesn't match the MS-13 gang tattoo on the side of your face. Are you sure that this is you, Javier?
Who's he talking to, Dawson, and what is he talking about? And is it anything? And I know he's sucking up to his illegal constituency, but they're not voting, but he wants them to vote.
There are liberal white women who believe every word he
That's
says.
a good point.
Yeah,
you know what? That's a good point. Let me ask you, Andrew, when does this show come on with Nicole Wallace? Because if it's 2 p.m. on a Wednesday, all the Mexicans are working. I got news for you. You're right. It's middle-aged white women who have minivans who are going to go drive them into the ICE officers and get their fucking head blown off. That's right. That's actually right. Nope. If I showed a picture of Nicole Wallace if I walked around Los Angeles and stopped 500 random Mexicans and showed them a picture of Nicole Wallace, they'd have no fucking idea. I'd get more Hillary Clintons than I would CNN.
Yeah.
It's 4 p.m. weekdays, 6 p.m. Eastern. Maybe it's a couple in the East.
Also with this...
Oh, by the way, I'll go with 3 p.m. then our time. Or 1? Wait a minute. How's this work? I'm confused.
Oh, so it's 3 p.m. Central Time. You're looking at 1 p.m. here, right?
Yeah, it starts at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, so it starts 1 p.m. our time.
Oh, it's 4 to 6. Yeah. Oh, to 6 p.m. Okay, so it starts at. All right, I'm dead nuts on.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing about Mexicans. They fucking work. They're all at work. None of them are sitting home watching this cow and this dumb shit lie all day on CNN. Now, maybe a little Telemundo if they're doing some day drinking, but no. So that's zero. So Dawson's right. It's just a bunch of fucking dumb Karens who are watching this shit.
It's a preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
Well, basically what they're saying is there's going to be people standing outside that will scare you if you are voting for Democrats. However, if you're voting Republican, these guys are on your side. You're not going to be scared. You'll definitely go into that booth and cast your vote.
Right. Home title lock. Well, have you heard about the $17 million fraud scheme that targeted elderly homeowners? And where? Of course, Los Angeles. A ring of 11 people, including 2 foreign nationals, used fraudulent identities and public title records to forge documents and take out loans against these LA properties. And the homeowners didn't know anything about it. And now, despite multiple arrests, the homeowners are left to clean up the mess. Legal and financial, it's a nightmare. And if you're a homeowner without protection in place, this could be you. It's the new world order, sadly. That's why I've partnered with Home Title Lock. So you can find out today if you're already a victim and protect yourself or your loved ones against this growing crime. It's Home Title Lock. Right, Dawson?
Use promo code ADAM at HometitleLock.com to get a free title history report plus a free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That's 24/7 monitoring, urgent alerts, and if you're a victim of fraud, they'll spend up to $1 million to fix it. That's HometitleLock.com, promo code ADAM, or use the link below.
Sheath. It's simple. Sheath underwear makes the most comfortable briefs I've ever worn, and I've worn quite a few brands. I'm wearing them almost every time I'm doing a podcast, and certainly up on stage. They have this moisture-wicking technology that keeps everything cool and comfortable. They're good for when I'm getting stuff done around the house, but also when I'm just hanging out. And they have a dual pouch technology that really makes the difference. I don't know why someone didn't think of this earlier. It keeps everything separated down there. I wish this was around back in the day when I was doing radio all day and all night on a construction site too. Sheath also now has bamboo shirts and hoodies, all designed for maximum comfort. It's Sheath, right, Dawson?
Go to sheath.com now and use the promo code ADAM to receive 20% off today. That's sheath.com today and use the promo code ADAM for 20% off. Sheath, underwear of legends.
News.
Let's do it. Former FBI Director James Comey was indicted again Tuesday, this time by a federal grand jury for threatening to kill President Trump in a May 2025 Instagram post that called to 8647. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche announced the charges during a news conference, saying that threatening the life of a president of the United States will never be tolerated by the Department of Justice.
Yeah, this is kind of weak sauce.
Yeah.
And Comey's deserves to be indicted on other things, like the whole Russian collusion stuff and all the Hillary Clinton stuff. But this one, no. Obviously, he's kind of a douche. He's a little bit of a sociopath. He makes all these videos about him and Taylor Swift. But and he says he came upon the seashells, which I don't know if we believe him or not. But this is kind of a nothing burger, even though I would be... I'll tell you the way I feel about it. I feel that you can go, listen, this is free speech. He's a citizen and blah, blah, blah. I would kind of argue that there's a slightly higher standard to someone who used to run the FBI. Just like, you know, teams have like dress protocols and stuff. And you go, well, the average college student doesn't have one. Yes, but when we travel, you wear a suit and tie sort of thing. Because you go, that's our standard. I would argue that he was retired, but I would argue he should be held to a higher standard. But this is sort of Nothing seen. But there's other reasons. I'd rather them focus on fucking Fauci, Obama, and Hillary Clinton.
Sure.
Myself.
And anytime they say, hey, maybe the director of the FBI should not be butt-chugging beers with the United States men's hockey team after they win the gold medal,
Right.
you go, well, maybe they shouldn't be spelling out messages with seashells either.
That's a good point.
Although I'm glad that we didn't get busted because I put my tweet out, which said 69-47. I'm very happy that I didn't get busted for that one because egg on my face. All right, so just months after months after promising a socialist utopia, New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani discovered a minor flaw in his master plan, and that is the math. On Tuesday, the man who spent the campaign effectively declaring war on the concept of, oh, sorry, we just got these, I apologize, who was promising a historic magnitude is now looking at a deficit larger than anything seen since the Great Recession.
Yeah, it doesn't work. But it's all lip service. Like my ex-wife used to say all the time while living in a huge house and driving a $100,000 car, I don't care about any of this stuff. I don't even want any of this stuff. It's like, oh, you don't? Yes, I wanted to get you a Hyundai. She said no.
Yeah.
Well, Genesis, to be fair, but you wanted an Audi or Jaguar. So don't give me this bullshit where you don't want any of this stuff. You fucking want this stuff. They always pull this shit. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to have free buses. We're going to have free supermarkets, free transportation. Everyone's going to be treated with dignity. Everyone's going to be nice. And then it's like, how are you going to pull that off? And the answer's, well, the same way my ex-wife pulls off her Audi. I pay for it. She doesn't. But it's lose-lose for me because I pay for it and she doesn't want it. So I don't get thanked. So the rich pay all the shit and then get demonized. It's a microcosm of the same thing.
Sure.
But here we go.
New York City faces a budget crisis of a historic magnitude.
Right.
We inherited a deficit larger than any since the Great Recession.
He inherited it.
Years of mismanagement and chronic underbudgeting.
Hold on, pause. Why is there a white chick standing next to him?
And not
Where's
signing
all
anything?
the blacks and the black women of color? I pray she's a lesbian, otherwise there's going to be an issue. She can't just have a white chick standing next to him. She doesn't look lesbian, but someone's got to look into that.
Well, see, this is a bad news conference.
Oh, good news is where you get the black chicks behind it.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. See, here's what I want. I haven't said it in a while, but I really want to tell everyone this, and I want to go find, Brandon Johnson or Lightfoot or Karen Bass, and I like to sit them down, or Newsom, whomever, and I would sit them down and I would go, look, the reason you guys are career politicians and can't cut it competitively in a free market system is because you're fucking dumb. And you are trying to outwit smart people who just do business for a living. And all business people do is find workarounds. So you throw taxes at them, they start working around the taxes. Eventually, they just leave. You think you're going to corner them and beat them. You are not going to corner and beat a guy who runs Tesla or a guy who runs Nabisco or a guy who runs a hedge fund that's worth $700 billion. You're not going to outsmart that guy. You're fucking dumb and you're kind of addled. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Karen Bass is a fucking idiot. This guy's a douche. You're not going to outsmart, and Kathy Hochul's going to outsmart somebody? She's fucking Maxine Waters. You know what I mean? These are addled dumb shits. So you think you're going to take these guys who are essentially financial geniuses, that's why they rose to the ranks of where they are, and outsmart them in their boardroom, which is filled with guys who graduated from Wharton who have law degrees. You're going to beat them? You're not going to beat them. You could work with them, but you're not going to bully them. Because you start bullying them, they go, fuck it, we're leaving.
Yeah.
And then you're fucked.
Yeah, these are the guys when you do big sanctions on them, they just shut the door and go, we'll take it into consideration, and they walk out with a plan that is 10 times better than anything you could come up with.
They have money in bank accounts in places they've never been. That's how smart they are. So they will fucking fix your shit, by the way, easily.
Yeah, if you let them. Unfortunately, they will never let them. That's the problem.
Well, I mean, they will either fuck you up or you could work with them. But if you want to demonize them, then they'll fuck you up, and then you'll have to beg for money.
Yeah.
And then the people that are left behind are going to be the dumb shits who voted for you who don't have any money.
Yeah.
It's a super simple equation, but we'll hear more of what he has to say. I hope that's a lesbian. Go ahead.
We inherited a deficit larger than any since the Great Recession. Years of mismanagement and chronic underbudgeting, alongside a structural imbalance between what New York City sends to the state and what we receive in return, have taken a toll. We cannot close this deficit with savings alone. We need new revenue, and we need a structural reset in our relationship with the state.
Hold on a second.
That is the only way.
You don't necessarily need new revenue. If you make Rudy.
Yes.
With your $10 shirts. You hear that one, Dawson?
I was splurging that day.
Shit, man.
I got a bonus.
I don't spend that on a rag of wipe my Mercedes down with, but you, okay.
Well, that's where my shirts go, as they become your Mercedes rags.
So he needs more money because it's not going to be enough to make it up. But here's the deal. If Rudy over here makes, I'll throw out a number, doesn't matter what it is. Rudy over here makes $100,000 a year. And Rudy lives a kind of a lifestyle with super fancy $10 shirts and things of that nature on his $100,000 a year. Then at some point, we find out that Rudy's been demoted and he's only making $75,000 a year.
Okay.
All right. Now, Rudy can say, hey, man, I need another 25 grand a year to continue what the life I was leading. But there's an alternative. You can start buying shirts that are $7.50.
$7 shirts? God
well,
damn it.
$7.50.
Oh, $7.50.
Technically.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's that kind of math that got you in this mess in the first place. The point is no. You don't necessarily need that. You can lower, Rudy can spend less money and then still get by. Now, I would argue for me, it'd be a two-prong approach. I would say, Rudy, spend less money and simultaneously hustle to fill that gap between 75 and 100. But I wouldn't just say concentrate 100% on making more money. I would say simultaneously cut out a few things that are costing you money. Now, I think we've all figured out the fucking bloat and grift in these cities is monumental. So that should be part of the discussion.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't think that makes you a Democrat or Republican. Just go, look, we got to do things simultaneously. I got more money coming in, and we got to stop some of this money that's just flying out the back door. All right, but let's hear him. He needs more money.
Close this deficit with savings alone. We need new revenue, and we need a structural reset in our relationship with the state. That is the only way to meet our legal obligation to pass a balanced budget, and to do so without imposing a financial burden onto the backs of working people. I'm glad to partner with Speaker Menon as we call upon Albany.
I also like the definition of people who pay for everything and work weekends do not get to enter the club of working people. Like, I'm not, when he says we don't want to pay tax on working people, he's not talking about me. Although I work every weekend and I do nothing but work, but I don't get to be a working person.
Yeah.
Because that's noble.
Yeah.
I sit around and grift money.
In his eyes, you're sitting out at your back patio at your breakfast table in a bathrobe at 10 a.m., just eating hard-boiled eggs and just taking in all the money, not giving anything back to the little guy.
I do love that. By the way, if I could keep all the money, I surely would. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Onto the backs of working people. I'm glad to partner with Speaker Menon as we call upon Albany and deliver a balanced budget. Together, we are extending the executive budget deadline from this coming Friday until May 12th because a crisis of this scale cannot be solved without state action. I want to be clear. We are not simply asking others to act. New York City is doing our part. We are committed to governing with the fiscal responsibility this moment demands. Speaker Menon and I have already identified meaningful savings, and we will continue that work carefully, deliberately, and without cutting the services that New Yorkers rely on. But we cannot do it alone.
Hold on. Is the woman, is she at least transitioning this person. I just can't believe he would be fool enough to just stand with a white chick who's heterosexual. Never seen it before.
No.
Not she lesbian, Andrew?
Not since COVID.
No. Jesus Christ, this is disappointing. He must be desperate at this point. All right, so he's going to get people to give more money. But not the working people. The people who don't work, who make all the money. Right? Okay.
Our part. We are committed to governing with the fiscal responsibility this moment demands. Speaker Menon and I have already identified meaningful savings, and we will continue that work carefully, deliberately, and without cutting the services that New Yorkers rely on. But we cannot do it alone. That is why we are standing together this morning to underscore what is at stake and to call on Albany to deliver additional revenue.
Okay. I need more money. I need money because I got a lot of plans.
Yeah.
And by the way, the more my plans get implemented, the more fucking money I'm going to need. And we got to have the people who are already paying for everything pay more.
Yeah, it's too bad that Lex Luthor just can't break into the feed and just show that video of him standing in the grocery store.
Yeah.
And just going, this is why you have no money, because of
Right.
dipshit policies and decisions like this.
All right, what else we got?
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz boasted about his moves to crack down on fraud during his final State of the State address on Tuesday. I believe we got some
this
video
guy
of this.
spearheaded it.
Yeah.
No one would listen to him all those years ago when he was talking about Somali fraud. But finally, we're the people, he's got the ear of the people. I do love that. I love Newsom when he's like, we've been working on this. You haven't been doing shit. You're not going to do shit.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
We've created additional checks and balances. We've brought on more investigators, more auditors, more law enforcement agencies, as well as an outside firm to take a look at high-risk programs. People who have ripped us off are getting caught, and they are going to jail, just like today. I've said the buck stops with me. And as I know some of you will take that as an open invitation to play politics with every incident of fraud that takes place here in Minnesota, even though I have to tell you, the statistics show it's happening in red states more than here, but so be it.
All right, hold on.
what a
We're going to
dick.
find out. By the way, how come we don't see any of it? Go ahead. Tell us all about it. Tell us about how illegals don't commit crime and they don't commit murder and they all your fucking retarded thoughts that never happen happens in red states. Okay. There'll be discovery and they're going to find, there's already tons of whistleblowers who went, I fucking made him aware of this. They made Newsom aware of it. They told him that's their constituency. They're not into busting their constituency. They're not per se into, let's just say, illegals. They don't hang out with them. They don't hang out at the dinners or the country clubs. They're not friends with them. They're not friends with any Mexicans. That's their constituency. So they will fight to protect whoever they think their constituency. It's not like they like Somalians. They just use them.
Votes for them, yeah.
So they're not going to upset the apple cart. Now, look, there's two kinds of criminal. There's a kind of criminal that does what the Somalians do, and then there's the elected criminal who just sort of turns a blind eye to it. That's what they're doing, is kind of a passive criminality, and that's what he's doing. But anyway, they're probably going to. Also, here's the other thing that's interesting about all these guys. This is, job one for you. How come there's no footage of you talking about it? How come it's all the LGBT community and Black Lives Matter? How come I could go dig up 7,000 hours of this fuck talking about Black Lives Matter, and I couldn't find 5 minutes of him talking about fraud, waste, and abuse. So why is that, if that's what you want?
Yeah, a lot of talk about, thugs wearing boots on the streets, taking down the guy who's just trying to make a living, man. Just trying to do right by his family in the back of the kitchen. And they got these guys coming in and taking them away from their families and jobs and livelihoods.
Well, they're ripping infants from the arms of moms. Did you guys know that? And they're throwing them in incinerators.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Oh, actually, wood chippers, I heard. They're taking moms who are just unhoused citizens or displaced or without papers, and they're tearing their infants away and they're throwing them in wood chippers.
All that's left is the bluey backpack. That's all that's left.
I miss the wood chipper, man. When I was a kid, there was always a thing going around, You know, like that kid threw a cat in a wood chipper.
Whoa.
And you're like, oh, stay away from that guy. But it's never been confirmed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. After Fargo, that was kind of the last of it. I think they put the button on and just went, it'll never get as good as this scene. Sorry.
We did something because I swear to God, those big industrial ones, they were fired up in my neighborhood every single weekend. Like, and they're firing the mulch into the truck.
Yeah.
Not around anymore. You know what else I don't hear? Dogs howling at sirens. When I was a kid, the fire truck would go by and you hear, ooh.
Yeah.
Don't hear it anymore.
Yeah.
What is that?
Maybe it's the new construction of the houses. Everything is so much more quieter now, maybe.
Dual glazed windows.
Yeah.
Quiet rock.
You know
and all the fucking dogs are indoors.
Yeah.
Aha. When I was a kid, every fucking dog was in the yard.
Sure.
So they go, that's where you live. We're going to work. Have fun.
Yeah.
Now they drop them off at doggy daycare or whatever it is. But you're right.
Yeah.
It'd be the dogs in the yard because otherwise I wouldn't hear it if they were in the house.
Well, I bet that they changed the frequency of the siren because sirens before, they were doggist. Yes, they were anti-dog. They had to change the frequency a little bit because it was hurting their ears, which we know is keeping the dog down.
Do you have another story?
I got a couple of them.
All right.
Los Angeles Councilwoman Nithya Raman admits to Democrats spending $1 billion of taxpayer money to buy drugs for drug addicts, saying that residents, you're spending $1 billion giving money to drug addicts who are buying drugs with that money, and you know it. I think there's some video with this.
She wants to put an end to it?
She was basically admitting it.
Well, here's the thing, too. I know it's like a Republican versus Democrat, and it's, a war with everything. But I'm just trying to essentially save the city, and you guys are trying to destroy the cities. I don't think it's the same mission.
Yeah.
I know everyone agrees with themselves.
Sure.
But, I mean, I've seen what you guys do when you're in charge. You fucking ruin places.
Yeah.
And I don't want, whether it's Portland or Seattle, these are really... Seattle and Portland were like destination postcard places, and you guys with your brand of governing has fucked them up. And that same with Los Angeles, not a usable downtown, but I don't want that. But that doesn't look. If you guys weren't called Democrats, you're just called Sneetches or Snurs or Dr. Drew, Dr. Drew and Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss gave you a name. I'd still be against whatever it is you were doing because you're fucking up the city.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's Nithya, I guess.
That's right. You're spending $1 billion giving money to drug addicts who are buying drugs with the money, and you know that.
Well, yes.
That's right.
Right.
Well, yes.
Well, she's not yelling it. He's yelling it.
Sorry, the note that they gave me here made it look like the quote that they had was, "You are spending $1 billion giving money to drug addicts."
You know what's weird? So the weird thing is I believe you, Rudy. So when you say Nithya Raman is yelling about this, I'm like, well, that sounds normal.
Yes.
Like that sounds like sensible. So I know she wouldn't say it. All right, so let's hear it again.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yep.
That's right.
You're spending $1 billion giving money to drug addicts who are buying drugs with the money, and you know that.
Well, yes.
That's right. You're spending $1 billion.
All right. So, yes, that's what we're doing. But we're getting great results.
Open about it, too. So open about it. As a new resident of Los Angeles, I've obviously seen the homelessness around here, but there was a guy yesterday as I was driving home that it reminded me, remember the old Weird Al movie, UHF? And at the end, the guy was like, wow, a Rolex. And he is like the most quintessential homeless guy you've ever seen. There was a guy standing on the side of the road who looked exactly like that. And I thought, if you wanted to cast that guy in a movie, you would have to make him look less homeless.
Yeah, 2 on the nose.
2 on the nose. Insane.
I see these guys literally wandering around the freeways. You should be able to hit them and collect a bounty like Nutria.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, taking a
we
little
got
burden.
a problem with homeless. Louisiana's got a problem with Nutria. And you should be able to clip them and get a pelt and get some cash.
Yeah.
That would solve the problem.
Yeah.
Or at least the word would get out and it'd stay off the fucking freeway. What is a trap? Now, I'm trying to think. Dawson, if my mom was alive today, would she vote for Nithya or Karen Bass? Because they're both women. That's super important when you're destroying the city. and they're both technically women of color, although my mom would side with the black woman over the Indian woman. But we can check the black woman box, but we have not checked the Indian woman box. And Nithya is a socialist communist who's basically worse than Karen Bass.
I gotta say, it'd still be Karen Bass.
You think so?
I think.
God bless you. God bless you, Dawson. You're not just being kind?
No, I think she would still go
You know,
Karen
because
Bass.
I'm still grieving.
Because, yes.
You're just saying that, aren't you, Dawson? Because you know I'm grieving.
No, she would say with Karen Bass because she's a black woman.
Okay. All right. All right. Sorry. Any more stories there, Ray?
Yeah. So your good friend of the show, Jay Moore's wife, made a big donation to mayoral candidate Spencer Pratt. The former Los Angeles Laker owner who has sold her majority stake in the team for a record $10 billion last June, has donated the maximum amount to Pratt, $1,800.
I saw Jay yesterday, and we were talking about this.
Nice.
I also lied to him.
What did you tell him? That you also donated $1,800?
No, I told him that my mom owned the Kings.
Oh.
I was panicked.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what to say. And all the Lakers talk, and they're talking about who's buying the Seattle Seahawks. And I just felt so... I'm standing between him and Byron Allen.
Yeah.
And Byron was talking about getting in on the group that was going to buy the Seattle Seahawks. And then, of course, Jay Moore's talking about owning the Lakers. And I just fucking panicked, and I just blurted out, my mom owns the Kings.
Yeah. Well, I think...
And they were like, could we get some tickets? And I was like... I'd have to talk to Chris.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you guys want to exchange? Like, you give me some Lakers tickets. I have to get the Lakers tickets first, and then I'll give you the Kings tickets, obviously. Yeah.
I told her hockey season doesn't start till the summer is what I told them.
Yeah. They didn't buy it?
Well, they have smartphones.
Oh, gotcha.
And then some of them watch ESPN, and so they...
Yeah, I believe Jay was at the Kings game the night before.
Right, but I figured I could pull it off with Byron because of his color and whatnot.
I mean, everybody knows your mom was an angel investor in the Clippers, and I know you're just trying to hobnob and seem like you're cooler than you are.
I felt so out of place that I just wanted to offer something up. But I think they may be on to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, nice. Jay. Oh, we got a Spencer Pratt commercial here. Is that what we got? Oh, okay.
This is where Mayor Bass lives. You notice something? Or here, where Nithya Raman's $3 million mansion sits. They don't have to live in the mess they've created where you live. This is where I live. They let my home burn down. I know what the consequences of failed leadership are. That's why I'm running for mayor. For my sons and the rest of us Angelinos that want to stop these corrupt politicians from destroying our city. We are going to get the golden age of Los Angeles back. This is where
I love their argument against Spencer Pratt is he likes Trump. Like, okay, he's not a fucking socialist nut job who's burning your city down, number one. Now, here's really the question. Los Angeles is filled with a bunch of people. You ever see, here's something to do real fast, Andrew. That black woman who got interviewed, who was a juror in the OJ trial, who just went, fuck it, OJ's black. We knew he was guilty. Tough shit. White chick's dead. We said not guilty. You ever see that? It's an awesome clip.
Yeah.
It's her just going, fuck you.
Yeah.
We don't care. Yeah, but that guy murdered 2 people. So what?
Doesn't matter.
Don't care. He's black, and I don't give a fuck. And it's a turnabout fair play.
Sure.
L.A. is filled with those people. And those people aren't really interested in who's guilty and who's innocent. They're just like, Karen Bass is a Democrat. She's black, and fuck you. There's a lot of that. As a matter of fact, that's kind of who my mom would be. So it is filled with super inaccurate, unpractical, and kind of dumb people who just go, fuck it, she looks like me. So there's always that, even though it sounds patently insane to us, because I don't want Rick Caruso to be mayor because he looks like me. I want him to be mayor because he's fucking bright and he does stuff.
I don't want anyone who looks like me anywhere near any office whatsoever.
Dawson, you got to focus on smell more than aesthetic. You don't want anyone who smells like you anywhere near. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can find this thing. It's kind of funny if you guys haven't heard it already. Hopefully this old lady's dead by now. But
look, I voted no then. And he's a stupid ass to go out there and get into some more shit.
That's Carrie Bass. Karen Bass. Bess.
Somewhat.
OJ.
But deep in my heart, I done what I felt was right at that time.
Okay. Anyway, there's a part of her, but she's just basically saying, look, I knew the guy was guilty, but fuck you, Whitey.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that in L.A., so
Sure.
look out. All right, let's see. Oh, DeSantis. Oh, Miami. Yeah, I'm going to Miami in June. But what else do we got on here? Las Vegas. Don't we go in numerical order here, though? Am I screwing this up? Las Vegas, everyone, May 8th and 9th. And then Covina, and then Visalia, and then Modesto, theaters and stuff over there. And going to be at the Fillmore with a bunch of DeSantis and Dave Rubin and kind of an all-star. Ben Shapiro. It'll be like an all-star lineup over there. Go to AdamCarolla.com for all the live shows. What do you got, Rudy?
This weekend I will be at King of Prussia in Pennsylvania. And then you can find me Netflix as a joke next week at the Ice House on Thursday. And then Friday night I'll be in Las Vegas with you.
So until next time, Adam Carolla for Tish Hyman and Rudy Pavich saying mahalo.